Inform the mind, inspire the heart. Inform the mind, inspire the heart. I want to tell a story about how I came up with that as my theme. The way in which I want to walk into the room to inspire other people. Inform the mind, inspire the heart. It starts with the story. And what's most amazing about a story is each and every one of us has something that pulls us. Like the reason why we do something. And it's interesting because for me, I keep it simple. I'm a mama's boy. I love my mom. You see, my mom grew up in the country of Uganda. In fact, she's from Jinja, Uganda, born on the banks of the Nile River. Her story always inspires me, and I keep it in my heart simply because I remember the people who have paved the way for me. My mom is my hero. I'm the youngest of 7. And each and every day when I go out and do the work that I do, I remember the people who have paved the way for me. There's a quote by Maya Angelou, and I love the quote. She talks about every time she steps into a room to do exactly what she is called to do. She says, when I speak up, I come as one person, but I stand as 10,000. Meaning that it is not just my voice who is talking to you. I'm representing something that is greater than me. Mama's boy. Mama's boy. What's your story? Who are the people who have laid the foundation? Why do you do the work that you do? What brought you to this room today? Why do you reach for the stars? What is your aspiration? What are your goals? I think about my mom every single day when I do what I do. And I ask this question to you all right now, but who is the person in your life that when you aspire to do more, be more, and become more, they come to mind? I'll ask the question again. Who is the person in your life that you can think of and envision when you say, I need to do more, be more, and become more? Like we're all inspired by something. There's a fire in our belly that allows us to move forward in the right way, but oftentimes we can kind of forget. Oftentimes we can not remember the very person who put us in that place or the reason why we stepped into that room. I want to speak honestly to somebody today. Like it's a blessing for me to even be here. And so as I'm given the opportunity to reach one person, 2 people, maybe 100, maybe 1,000, who knows? I tell my story and I tell it with power. And so my first question to you all, if you can hear my voice, is who is the person that laid the foundation for you, who sacrificed for you, who allowed you to be here? Man, it's powerful when we remember that person. It's a powerful thing when we can step into the room and say, I did not get here on my own. I don't speak with just my voice. I don't move with just my presence. I don't connect with just who I am. You know who are the people who are behind me. Inform the mind, inspire the heart. It's a phrase that I live by. And I want to tell you, when I got to that moment, it was probably about 4.5, 5 years ago. I was in Sacramento, California. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I was driving to my first event. The event was actually in a city called Redding, California. So you jump on this freeway, you take the I-5 down, and I'm riding. I'm so excited. I'm elated because I get to have a conversation and do the work that I've been cut out to do. Like I saw the vision of what I was doing and I was excited. I walk into the room. There's about a group of 30 individuals. And the idea for me is to teach young professionals about how they can take the talents that they have and make sure that they can maneuver and create opportunities for themselves. I was elated about the story that I was about to tell. I was in the room, and I remember vividly there was a moment when a woman had a question for me. She said, Isaac, I understand what you're saying. I understand how I can create these opportunities, but I just can't do it the way you're saying I can do it. And I said, come again, what do you mean? She said, I want to let you know that I am a single parent. I have 2 kids, and you're talking about doing something that you love. I want to go to graduate school, but I have 2 people that I have to take care of, 2 youngins. Isaac, you're not a parent. You don't understand what I'm saying. It was a moment for me as a single young individual, ambitious in my own ways. I couldn't really see her perspective. But as I heard her say those words, I turned to her and said, I don't know your story exactly, but I want to say one word. Just you being here in this moment, just you thinking about that question, just you stepping up in that way, I want to say that I'm proud of you. I don't know you, but I know your courage. I know your voice. Because I was raised by a woman who had that same courage and that same voice. I know that strength. And in that moment, I remember she turned to me, she turned to the crowd, and she absolutely lost it. I'm talking tears, sobs, everything. And I'm telling you about that moment because we had a connection piece. Like we went past just connecting on the professional side, and it was an emotional human connection where she said, you know what? I think I needed that inspiration in that moment. I didn't know that I needed it, but I'm going to go forth and do the work that I'm supposed to do. And I reminded myself that everywhere I go, when I connect with other individuals, I said, inform the mind, inspire the heart. It won't always just be about the work. It won't always just be about the talent. It won't always be about perfection, but it always will be about the connection that you make. And when I think about my own journey, and I hope I can reach one person when I say this, is that each and every one of us have talents. Each and every one of us have aspirations. Each and every one of us have dreams. Each and every one of us have visions. The things that we are called to do, that we aspire to do, the way in which we walk into the room. But what I've learned on my own journey is that our ability to connect one-on-one with other individuals is what it's all about. Human connection. My heart to your heart. My heart to your heart. My mind to your mind. My spirit to your spirit. My heart to your heart. My mind to your mind. My spirit to your spirit. And when we have individuals who do work with that type of presence, regardless of what you're called to do, when we have individuals who move in that way, regardless of what you're called to do, you can make that impact, you can make that change. You can make that impact, you can make that change. When you think about the heart, connecting, human to human connection. Human to human connection. I ask you right now on your journey, are you making human to human connection? I ask you right now on your journey, are you making the connection? Are you seeing the people that are right in front of you? Are you pouring yourself into the moment? Are you giving yourself every opportunity that you can possibly have to not only be a value to yourself, but a value to other people? Are you operating with that thing that they call 51-49, which means that every room that I walk into, I'm going to provide more value than I take? Are you an individual who moves with the inspiration that is that sits in your spirit? I'm trying to talk to one person, not everybody. Because I understand that when people have that fire, you can do some amazing things. You might make a mistake along the way. You might make a mistake along the way. You might not have everything together. I want to talk to the young people for a moment. You might not have everything together. You might have made some mistakes. Young man I talked to today, you might have made some mistakes in your past. You might feel judgment around the way. You might not be seen as the perfect candidate in that situation. And oftentimes when we have that type of mindset, we think that it's all over. I'm here to tell you that your adversity is your advantage. I'm here to tell you that regardless of where you are on your journey, I'm telling you to take the very thing that tried to trip you up and make it one of the things that you step on to go forward. I'm trying to tell you that your obstacle becomes your opportunity. Your obstacle becomes your opportunity. Listen to me here. The story that you hold, the story that you hold, the past that is yours, the things that you've overcome. Can I just say one thing, that your story is your power? Can I just say one thing, that your story is your power? Each and every one of you have gone through a winding journey of how you ended up in the seat that you're in today. And if you hear this message, wherever you are, and if you hear this message wherever you are, I'm just here to remind you that your story is your power. I'm talking to one person. Your story is your power. The very thing that you thought would trip you up is the very thing that will propel you forward. The very thing that you thought would trip you up is the very thing that will propel you forward. I have the opportunity in the United States. My focus and my passion is the youth. I say two simple things. I say inform the mind, inspire the heart. I keep it simple. And oftentimes when I get to talk to young people, they come to me and they say, man, I'm making a transition into the real world. But I'm dealing with this thing called fear. Like, I think I could do it. I think I'm supposed to get over the hurt. Like, I think it's my opportunity but I'm not sure. And we talk about it. We talk about that thing called imposter syndrome. I even experience it to this day. Imposter syndrome is this idea that says, when I walk into a room, does my voice belong in the room? By show of hands, has anybody ever felt that? Talking to you, I need like the elbow to lock. By show of hands, has anybody ever felt that? Like, when I walk into a room, do I belong in that room? Yeah, this message is for you. You belong in the room. It's time to take advantage of the opportunity. And sometimes for many of us, we don't really take advantage of it. Like, we think we're supposed to be there, but then we hesitate. And I just want to remind you to turn that doubt and that hesitation into courage and conviction. I just want to remind you that you're supposed to be in that room. It's for you. It's for you. It's for you. Remember that your story is your power. Remember that your story is your power. Your adversity becomes your advantage. 51:49, what does that mean? That means when you walk into a room, how do I provide more value than I get? And last but not least, please, people, hear me when I say this, never underestimate the power of passion. Never underestimate the power of the fire within you. Never underestimate that feeling that you have when you're going after something that you know you want, that you know is for you, that you know is your vision. Never underestimate the feeling that you get when you go for it. Oh, I'm talking to one person. Never underestimate the feeling of passion. Your dream is alive. I'm talking to one person, one young person. Hear me. Hear me. Take this message. Your message is for you. This is your time. This is your dream. Hear me when I say this. I'm coming straight from the heart and nowhere else. Man, I feel blessed and privileged to even absolutely be able to share this message. And so when I get to connect with youth, the one thing that I think about is how can I not just affect the mind, but touch the heart? To make you feel something in a way that you say, you know what, I'm going to take that step forward that I need to take. I'm going to make that push. I'm going to make that connection. Because oftentimes we're one connection, one opportunity, one step away from something amazing. We're one step away from something amazing. If you feel me, say yeah. Oh, I'm talking to you in the back. Audience, talk to me. If you feel me, say yeah. Oh, if you feel me, say yeah. If you feel me, say, oh yeah. Oh, if you feel me, say yeah. If you feel me, say, oh yeah. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Remember that your adversity is your advantage. Remember that your story is your power. And last but not least, never forget why you do what you do. There are people in our journeys. I want to come back to my mama. Youngest of 7 here. Single mom. Raised us. I remember the first time, I'll tell this one time, I remember stepping off and graduating from Princeton University in New Jersey. My mom never went to college, was in high school, so she came 3,000 miles away. She flew, she took the plane, she came, went to graduation, and she had one of those old digital cameras. You guys know what I'm talking about? She was at college and she was taking pictures of everything because I was living her dream. And to this day, it's the very thing that makes me do what I do. I see her face. I feel her heart. I know her spirit. And what I'll try to remind people of is, who's the person that does that for you? When you remember that person, you're powerful. Powerful beyond measure. If I can leave you with one thing, please remember, inform the mind, inspire the heart. Thank you.